Good morning. So today I want to talk to y'all about the freedom of letting go of your past. So the scripture that I want to start with is Proverbs 4 verse 24 to through 27, and it says, "Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet, then stick to the path and stay safe. Don't get sidetracked. Keep your feet from following evil." So, the reason why that was on my spirit today was because yesterday, I don't know if y'all caught my post yesterday, but if you didn't, go back and look at my post yesterday. I recently had a dream that somebody from my past was going to come back around, and their intentions wasn't good, long story short. So go check out that post, those story times, so you can see how that relates to this. So anyway, it didn't take, but it took less than 24 hours for it to reveal itself. So recently somebody from my past returned, and was like, hey, what's up, whatever. It was kind of strange, because they wasn't kind of like, hey, how's it going, how you doing, how you been, give me a call. It was more like, hey, I was in a hospital and you ain't even call me, or like something like that. But like, whatever, I just was like, okay, let me just check on them, because I didn't know he was in a hospital. And like, that's just like a terrible thing if a family or close friends or like whatever, something happened to them when you're away, and then it's just like, like, dang, I didn't even know that was going on, and I kind of missed that and whatever. But the whole reason why I was staying away was because these people from my past mistreated me like ridiculously, and for years I put up with it. But when I rededicated myself, I made a vow to myself not to look back and not to open up those old doors that hurt me before, unless I knew for sure that those people had changed or was willing to change or work on the trauma that they had caused in my life. So with that being said, when the person sent me the message, I was like, well, let's just see. All right, come back for part 2. Okay, so anyway, I had also I wanted to say, this person that I'm talking about is my father. Just a quick backstory on my relationship with my dad. Our relationship kind of like always been rocky, and it's pretty much the same thing with the rest of his kids or whatever. I love my dad, and I would love to have a great relationship with him. However, it's very difficult to I don't know, to try to get that, So for a long time, I used to just try to force it, and just kind of take whatever he would give me, even if it was bad or negative. I would still take it just to say that he was in my life, just to be able to have a part of him in my life. I would take the trauma, I would take the emotional abuse, I would take all of it, just to say that I had a relationship with my dad. And it wasn't until I rededicated myself to Christ that I realized that I don't deserve to be treated like that by anybody, especially not my father, and that it's okay to forgive him and it's okay to love him. However, I don't have to tolerate being mistreated, because God loved me and I love myself enough to not be anyone else's like emotional punching bag or like whatever. So anyway, so I called them or whatever. So this conversation started off rocky. Throughout the conversation, I feel myself getting upset, but I keep trying to suppress it and just not even shake the waters, like ruffle any feathers. Like, my dad is the type of person, he was in the military before, so he's the type of person where he's very like, it's my way or no way. Also, you can't really express how you feel. It's just a very cool vibe. Like, it's no warmth. I don't feel loved in that relationship or whatever. So anyway, that is kind of, that whole situation is kind of like what put this on my spirit this morning, about it being okay to let go. If you walked away from anything or anyone from your past, it's okay to let go and move forward. A lot of people will try to guilt trip you and make you feel like you being brand new, or you flexing, or you different because you walked away. Yeah, so, if you walked away, you know what I'm saying, people may try to make you feel like you being different, or some kind of way you became the villain when you decided to leave that relationship, when you decided to end those friendships, when you decided to walk away from that job, when you decided to leave that school, or whatever you decided to put an end to. Now all of a sudden you're the villain because you stood up for yourself and you demanded to be treated better. And I'm just here to tell y'all that no, you're not wrong. You're not flexing. You're not the villain in that story. There's nothing wrong with demanding better for yourself, because if you don't demand better for yourself, guess what? Nobody else is going to demand it for you. That is just the reality of life. No one is going to demand it for you. So you have to stand in your power, and you have to understand how you deserve to be treated. Yes, do I want to have a relationship with my dad? Absolutely. Do I feel like he's going to treat me the way I deserve to be treated? Not really, honestly. And that's okay. One day God will work on his heart and God will change things, possibly. I don't know the future, but right now, based on how some of the people from my past choose to treat me, it's a no for me. And it's with all respect, it's wrapped in love, and it's tied in a bow of kindness. However, I cannot allow these people in my energy anymore, because what happens is, when you try to maintain those relationships, you find yourself flustered, you find yourself frustrated, you find yourself heartbroken, you find yourself stressed out. And when you're experiencing all those emotions, then you can't focus on the things that you need to do to progress in life. So, for example, that conversation with my dad, this was like 7 o'clock this morning, okay, because I get up pretty early or whatever, and he's in a hospital, so he was up early. But in that conversation, obviously I tried to be respectful and as kind as I could be and everything, because he is in a hospital. However, when we got off the phone, I just consciously made the decision that yes, I'm going to check on my dad, and yes, I'm going to always love him, but I cannot share time and space with him, because it's going to stress me out, and then I won't be able to be productive and do the things that God called me to do. So if so if you going through a similar experience where you had to let something go, or you had to walk away from something that you knew in your heart was stressful to you, you knew in your heart that it was slowing you down or blocking your blessings or causing you to not operate on your highest frequency, then you may have to let that go. And the highest frequency to operate in is love. So like my situation with my dad, before his health started declining years ago, I would call him and be like, Dad, start eating healthy, stop eating this, stop eating that, why are you eating cheesesteaks? with extra cheese and all this stuff like that. Please stop eating that stuff. I would research different healthy things to eat and send the links and stuff to him, because he had diabetes. All of these health issues are reversible if you change your diet and you change different things you're doing with your body. I am a healer, but my dad does not believe that. So the things that I would suggest, he didn't receive because he don't believe that it's possible. I've tried to operate in the highest frequency of love with him. I've tried to encourage him. I've tried to have his back. Even when I was younger and I would know that he was lying about things, I would still agree with his lies, because I'm the type of person that when I love you, you could even be wrong and or I'm gonna say I was that type of person. You could even be wrong and just to not ruffle your feathers, I would just still agree with you. I would still be supportive even if you was wrong, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm on your team. And that was my mindset of thinking. That was my loyalty to you. Now, no, if you're wrong, I'm going to address it. If you're treating me wrong, if you've been courting a lie or whatever. Now, obviously, I'm going to be respectful because I respect myself. So it's not hard to show other people respect. But I'm not going to be mistreated or used in any kind of way. So if you're in that situation, it's okay to walk away and put yourself first in that type of situation. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't care about people, you shouldn't love people, but if you're being mistreated, if you gotta walk away from some people, if you have to walk away from your past, whatever it is, you're not a bad person. There's so many people from my past that mistreated me, that were actually mad that I left Philly, or that I ended those relationships when the entire relationship was abusive to me. Right? And I was constantly uplifting them, and I was constantly being there for them, and I was constantly helping them sort out their problems. But whenever I had a problem, they wasn't around. I was constantly just pouring into them and loving them. And no, I wasn't perfect in those situations. It was times that, maybe I would get upset and lash out after holding in my feelings or not being able to express my feelings for months and months. When I finally did, I would maybe lash out and cry and just be overly upset, they would think. But it's because they didn't understand that I had to suppress my feelings for months and months and months before I was able to express how I felt. Because most of the people that I've dealt with in the past were narcissists. And because I'm an empath, I don't know what it is with empaths. We naturally attract narcissistic people. And I don't know if that is God's way of helping us get stronger or what, or develop our character or whatever. But and then that's another thing my dad used to be like, oh, you're too sensitive. And it's I'm just asking you to respect me as a human, as an adult. Just respect me. If I'm telling you how I feel, don't cut me off, or don't just talk over me, or don't dismiss how I feel. And it was just valid things that I would bring to the table with these past relationships, and they would either be dismissed or they would argue them or whatever. So moral of the story, y'all, is if you walked away from something that was hurtful to you, I would never encourage you to just be mean or just give up on love. Obviously try and try and try with your friendships, try and try and try with your family relationships. Try your best until it's literally nothing else left in you to give. But when you reach that point, do not beat yourself up for having to walk away, because you deserve more, you deserve better, and God will send the people that you need. God will send your tribe. Yeah, so if you have to walk away or whatever the situation is, don't let that get you down, you know. And the craziest part of it all is I just had a dream about this, that somebody from my past was going to be trying to come back because they felt like some things was going good in my life or whatever, or like God was going to sit me at a table and some of my enemies or whatever from my past was going to try to come back. I literally just had a dream about this the other night. So God was trying to warn me. And then that's the good thing about connecting with God, is that God will talk to you through your environment or your dreams or whatever, and let you know what's coming. Or, you know, some people have the gift of actually hearing God, like a whisper, you know, and however God chooses to communicate with you, he'll communicate with you in that way, you know. So he'll warn you ahead of time so you can save yourself the hurt, so you can save yourself from the heartache or whatever, or the sabotage, you know, because some people from the past, they'll try to come back in your life just to see what you got going on, just to try to sabotage it, you know. So you got to be aware of those things. And like, while you're on your journey to rededicate your life, or if you just planning to dedicate your life to Christ, you know, you are obviously supposed to be a good person and treat people good and love people and everything, but I don't believe that you should sacrifice yourself for someone else's happiness. Like, Jesus already did that for everyone, so you don't have to do that. Jesus already did it, you know. So yes, love people. Yes, put time into people, invest into people, encourage people, uplift people and everything. But if you see that they are constantly pulling you down, you are free to walk away. And there's freedom in that. And like I said, that time that you was invested in that situation, you can invest in something else that's going to bring you happiness, that's going to bring you positivity, that's going to advance your life. Like the time I'm spending on the phone with my dad, feeling uneasy in my core, in my spirit, I could take that time to continue researching for this program that I'm developing for y'all, and to create my content for y'all, you know, to work out, you know, to do the other things that's going to be productive for me, and to help other people that want to be helped, you know, that want to be encouraged. My soul's purpose is to be here to encourage and serve people. However, y'all need to be willing to receive that help also.